you gonna do if it don't work out? It ain't about if it makes sense. If the book do it, don't fit. As far as I can see, there ain't no way to be somebody if you just don't quit. So if you gotta fight, don't lose it. If you gotta do it, don't do it. If you got something to prove, you wanna prove it. Don't let nobody clip your wings. Keep your head down, keep on the blinders. Tune out the doubters and all the close minders. If it's in your blood, falling down, bring the love to change you want to be. Getting back up, that's the only backup plan you need.
Welcome back, Rico Money Bags, the channel helping you invest in yourself so we can invest in the future. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure the bell notification is like you guys do not want to miss out. The markets were just wiped out like crazy dump happening everywhere, even one of the plays. And it's just crazy the type of market that we're in right now. BTC hit down to 58,000. Ethereum took a dip. BNB took a dip. Solana took a nice little dip. And, you know, some of these prices are already coming right back up. But that was a dip that was like, ouch, right? And that happened not too long ago. There was a nice, like, solid wick down that really just kind of shook up the market. And you could see it came all the way down here to, you know, 58,030 bucks, which is crazy, right? Now, granted, it's already starting to recover. It's kind of right back at that 59K and some change. Yesterday, when we were applying pressure and snatching up, what's up, bro? What's up, bro? Yeah, we're both here for it, man. I swear, it's like it never stops in cryptocurrency, doesn't it? It's like it's nonstop, no matter what. And you know what? We're gonna survive this market no matter what. We did have a nice little pump from yesterday's stream when we were first covering how Bitcoin can go right back up. And after the stream, I was seeing it, you know, from the 59K, it was going back into that 61K. We seen it even come back up to 60, what was it, 60,300, and looking really good at some areas. And then it just wicked down even lower, you know, it just kept going a lot lower. So this is where, so no, not this one right here. This is our 5 minutes. So this is where, you know, we went down to that 59 again, and we started to climb right back up, and things were looking kind of good. And we went all the way up to 61,000 on BTC. Even Solana was starting to pump. Solana getting close to like 70 bucks. And then we have this happen right here. Boom. Just not too long ago. You know, this was like, you know, maybe a couple hours ago. You have the market just wipe out and just come back down to 58,000. I did catch a short on a play that I'm going to share with you guys. Actually, I'll probably bring it up right now. Just showing you guys that when this market's like this, hunting for some of the shorts is going to be really nice. Holding on to your conviction plays. We're going to talk about Derpy as well, because that one dumped on us. And going to talk about that and kind of like the conviction plays, right? Because some of these things don't even last 24 hours. You know, people are selling on themselves. People get the dump, and you get the market to dump on top of it. And then it's automatic flush. And, you know, we caught this trade earlier today. I was in Blunt House TG. I think you guys should all give Blunt House Technical Analysis a follow. I'm actually going to bring up his @ handle for you guys and give you guys some of the alpha. But I was in his TG early in the AM, and we were talking and stuff, and I posted in there. You guys can go check in his Telegram. I suggest you guys join it, and whenever you guys see him live, go, you know, absorb his over 10,000 hours that he has in this space, right? This guy is one of those guys that, hey, when the market's doing all this crazy stuff, these are some of the guys that you want to pay attention to. He's got that trade right there at 200%. Let me see where mine's is at right now currently, because mine's is a lot. It's 165 right now. It was just over 200% on that SIN, but I posted it inside of the chat, or on X and inside of the chat right around this. Oh, here we go, 195. But I posted it in his TG when it was already getting close to like 98% or whatever. But when these markets are like this, you got to kind of change the way that you're looking at it, right? And yeah, when you see it just go like this, and Bitcoin starts dumping, anything that's pumping up really hard, like I looked on BYD5 for that SIN. You know, I just looked for something that was pumping really hard, and I went to the top gainers, and I found that thing, and I was like, all right, that's about it, you know, and it's going to be coming down because this market is just relentless right now. Like, you know, we were in the trenches yesterday, and you guys let me know if you guys like those type of plays. I'll keep bringing them up, right? Like Derpy, but Derpy's gone. It's like that fast. The market takes a dump, and it disappears. And yeah, you know, if you go to the major trending bot and you go inside there, there's a lot of things that are, you can chase the things that are bonding. But that's one of the reasons why I don't like the trenches that much when you're too deep in the trenches, because nothing lasts over 24 hours. This market took a dump. And if you guys go look at XPX, it's holding super strong. And that's a solid community right there. And they know we got a lot of things in the works right now. Like we got some cool things coming out, even just releasing the $1 million card. But the next widget, the utility that's going to be coming out for Q5, and you build a solid community around that. A lot of these trenches, they don't have a solid community, and then the markets are so tough that everybody's just selling on top of each other. Yeah, you can make gains, and it's kind of cool. I'm not gonna like at first, you're getting all these DMs, everybody's happy, and then you're getting a bunch of DMs, everybody's mad, which I totally get, because I was irritated too, and I left Derpy up on the ticker because I was actually making the live stream while that happened, and it's like, yeah, we called it at 9K and it pumped up to 35K. So in the trenches, in the eyes of the trenches, that's awesome, right? It looks good. But if it's gone, then it doesn't last 24 hours. How good is that? So, that's part of the space. I still left it up on the ticker. I was like, I'm still going to talk about it because it is what it is. These spaces are relentless. And they don't even last over 24 hours, because I think it'll highlight plays like Jesus. It'll highlight plays like XPX. It'll highlight plays like, Weedsta. It'll highlight all the plays that you got a dev that's actually active and you can talk to them and they're working for your bag and pushing it forward, because we can't do too much right now. These markets are kind of against us, right? Especially if you're not shorting the market. If you're shorting it, then you're doing a little bit better, right? You're catching shorts. You're not being too attached to the market as far as like, it has to go back up. It has to go back up. So you're making your gains and your ends meet by shorting the market and at these opportunities, right? But, we still got so much work to do. And even speaking to Blunt, looking at BTC on the higher time frames, it looks scarier, right? And you look at BTC on the weekly chart, it looks scarier. So yeah, at times it's cool. And I see the posts, like I'm in all the trenches as well. And I see people, I just made this much and that much. But, sometimes that stuff, it doesn't work out for everybody. So it's really like, should I just keep shorting, BTC, or getting those opportunities to just DCA into my conviction play where I have an actual community, and this is where, like, when the market conditions change, you have to reevaluate the way that you're addressing this market. Like, obviously we're still bullish on Bitcoin, right? But we're so far away from the 200 moving average that it needs to come back up. And we broke past some levels that, we don't want to be past. We're breaking past these levels that we had, even going lower. Even if we brought it down to the wick where we were at before, we broke through this. We broke right through this. We had the first wick where it met up right where this wick was at right here. Boom, boom. But this one broke right through today. Now it's right back on top. But man, I want these markets to be better for everybody. Honestly, I'm rooting for us to win. There's moments where you see those first wicks, like anybody who caught that first wick, Bitcoin going down to 68,000. Like, this is a lot riskier. None of this is financial advice, but a lot of times when you catch those first wicks, like those impulse moves up, there's trades that exist in there, but it takes for you to be on top of it. You have to be on top of it. You have to be on it like white on rice. Otherwise, you're going to get chopped up and it keeps going right back down. Cause yeah, there's impulse moves like this one was, and it was nice coming down and impulse move right back up here, but it was met with coming right back down. So it's like, you can't overstay your welcome. And I think that's why a lot of plays are not doing so good and why we have the type of trenches that we have, because people just can't hold, and it's met with selling off right away. And then you get that extra selling and it's like right on top of everybody, right? It's kind of wild, honestly. It's like, I was going to do the stream an hour earlier and it was like, it kind of bummed me out and stuff because, the markets are kind of shitty, and my bad if there's kids around. I didn't mean to do that, but you're having tough markets, and appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. If you got any projects that you want me to pull up, we're going to bring up your favorite tickers and everything. We just start off with BTC. If you're new to the channel, talk about, the Mona Lisa, the rising tide that raises all the ships, and why people are selling on top of each other, because the market sentiment, and a lot of the market sentiment is driven by this ticker right here. So, for us just to jump into the trenches and not look at the overall market sentiment, not just really the price of BTC, but how it's feeling, I think it's super important. So if you're new to the channel, we've been doing this here for a while. I'm the dev of XPX as well. We're going to be talking about XPX or $1 million cards, but we're going to start off with BTC. But if you got some meme coins that you want me to look at, that got some solid communities, that can last more than 24 hours, post it in the chat, man, and let me know, and we'll check it out and bring some exposure to the bags that you're holding. Coming back to BTC, just really waiting for some kind of miracle to happen for BTC, something magical to happen. What's up, Darren? something amazing to happen with BTC, right? And we're just not having it. But this is where I think, like, if you have your conviction play, whatever it is that you're holding, this is where you guys lock arms. And I think XPX, seeing Darren pull up, Solana dipping down really low, XPX buying into, the community stepping in, and we're holding so strong. Even with that, it's like, it's amazing because, yeah, that one play that we called 9K to 35K, but it didn't last, right? Because the market scares everybody. Everybody starts selling on each other because they're not together. There's no synergy between them, right? And this is where I think tough markets really highlight the strength of communities, man, and the strength of like having a project that's going really hard for you and having the dev working his butt off for everybody, right? Because we're still tied to this market and it's changing. Maybe Derpy would have did good, right? Because I thought it would have did good. That's 10 soul gone, right? And it's like it could have did pretty good, right? And a lot of other people got into it, but with these market conditions, you see how people react, right? And if it doesn't have a solid community where people are together, we got Profit Bear in there. I got solid people holding the floor in XPX that I really rock with, and they know that I want them to win, right? So there's this like synergy that we have with each other that I think today, with like Solana dipping like that and XPX standing so strong, like XPX, you guys should be feeling really, I feel really, that was like one of the things that made me feel really good about, calling a play yesterday and then today it being gone. That stuff is irritating sometimes. Sometimes that's why a lot of the times I've toned down going too deep into the trenches and covering more things that are already up here, because at least they got a community around it. Whether it went up and came back down, there's a community involved with it that they're fighting for this project, right? And a lot of times, if it's too trenchy, which I don't know if that's even a word, people don't fight for it. They almost fight against each other, right? So, nice, man. Nice. I'm just getting the dry powder. I'm on Leo. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, bro. Look, I'll talk about XPX real quick. We get comfortable. We got ourselves a solid stream. We're going to talk about some great projects. Obviously, talk about XPX. Get comfortable. But we got some really cool things, man. Like, when we get to some thresholds and we get a little bit higher, I'm really working on getting these $1 million cards really in the eyes of everybody here in Vegas, because these things, if you've been to Vegas, especially lately, even since like the start of the bull run, when I went down there and you're seeing the XPX billboard, there was a billboard like down the street that was for Stake, which is a gambling platform that uses crypto, right? So like advertising something like XPX in the eyes of like this type of public within like Las Vegas, if Stake is doing it, they're doing it for a reason, right? So it's like, we got some really powerful cards and, some really, high limit players here in Las Vegas. Obviously, it is Las Vegas. So keep DCAing, when you're done with your layaway and you got your dry powder, like keep buying it up. I mean, XPX is proof why it should be a good investment. It's solid as AF. It's super solid. Darren, Mr. Mo, you got Jace up in there, you got Saphir, you got myself, you got the ladies up in there, Psychedelic Angel, you got Danielle, you got Profit Bear, Darren's up in there, you got Cesar. We got guys in the back end that that I know hold nice bags, and they're just accumulating, and they just do their thing, right? They're not that active. I got my friend in Ethiopia, aped in $8,000. He doesn't bug me about the price action of XPX going up or down. He's got his own money. He's already a millionaire, so he's put in $8,000 into XPX, and hey, just take it all the way and stuff. Just take it to the moon. So you got these people that not everybody's like, especially when these markets are like this, a lot of plays, you got everybody hovering over the chart, where if you got a good community that that what's being built is long-term and it has that potential, you don't have to worry about your bags. And I think XPX highlighted that super strong today. And it's super refreshing to see how strong we are together, man. And Profit Bear, I'm so happy to have you here with us, bro. I know you DM me some alpha and stuff for everybody. I know Darren's excited about that coming to life, and we're looking forward to that. And just, bringing some more stuff to what we're already doing. But let's keep it moving. Like I said, get comfortable. We got a nice little stream. I got an early stream knocked out. Then I'm going to do some physical therapy. A lot of you guys know, man, I walk with that cane. I gotta take advantage and do my movements, so I don't start walking like a robot doing Mr. Roboto and stuff, right? So we got a nice little solid stream I want to give for you guys, because I know the markets are tough, kind of calm things down for everybody, and highlight some great projects and some great opportunity, but also just like, this is what's made us so strong, that we're here through the highs, that we're here through the lows, and we're tapped in together, right? And we pull up no matter what. So 59,500 on BTC. Is it the end of the world? No. Is there some more, where markets can go lower? Being transparent with everybody, like, and talking with Blunt, which is something that a lot of people don't want to talk about, is this weekly chart that I want Bitcoin to get back over that 200 moving average. Because, you got people saying 30, 40 and some lower prices. And, we are in a bear, baby bear, some kind of bear, a koala bear, a panda bear. I don't know what kind of bear it is. You guys let me know in the chat. What kind of bear do you think it is that we're having? Is it a big Russian bear? Is it a baby bear? Do we got a cub, a panda? I don't know, fam. But I know that we can make it through this together, right? And BTC does, have some downside risk. And I want you guys to know that, right? And we're at a crucial level with BTC. And, even looking like this all the way across, this is where these tops were at before. This is a very crucial area. And we broke passes, which we already are, and to some extent. You got to look at this volume gap. You're looking at 40K BTC. And that's where a lot of people are scared. But look for your conviction plays, because we're not leaving crypto. It's not like we're going to leave forever. And we'll come back when that's like, find your conviction plays during this time. And when the markets get back roaring, the gains that you're going to see are going to be amazing. And that's going to be part of your story, that, hey, when the markets were super scared, I was loading up on XPX nonstop because I was looking for my 100X on a project that I can see that's going to be here long-term, no matter what. Currently right now, I'll mention XPX. We're currently right now at $62,840 in paid orders this month. We're at a total of $442,669 in paid orders. We have something here. Okay. Polar bear. I missed that one, Prophet Bear. There we go. I missed that one. See, I knew there was a bear lingering around. That's why I need you guys, man. I knew there was a bear that I was missing. Polar bear was being like, hey, yo, what's going on? But yeah, we're doing really good. And that's what I want you guys to see, that no matter what, we're building something that's going to be relevant in this market, no matter what. So if you don't plan on leaving crypto and you want your conviction play, that when these markets turn right back around and the tide starts to go back up, your 5K bag, your 10K bag, instead of being 5K, it's going to be 50K, or it's going to be 100K, right? And it's like, we're waiting for this right now. And it's like, it's hard to really make, if you're going to be trading every single day and trying to do that, that's fine. You could do that. But I think a lot of people, it's time to look for your conviction plays, lock arms, DCA, make people FOMO into the conviction play, be the only green thing about, make it that the diamond hand thing is so strong over there that people want to be a part of it, that, hey, this is where I want to park my bags because it's safe over here, right? The trenches are tough. So BTC, man, we're far away from this 200 moving average, and if once we start talking about things looking better, like, can we get it above on the hourly chart? Are we close on it on the half-hour chart? We're not even close to it there. What about the 15-minute chart? Are we bouncing back up? It's like, no, not there either. And this was the last little ride that we had that got rejected. And at 61K, this coming down to 59, going to the 200 on the 15-minute chart, rejected at the 200, came right back down. So we're definitely going to want to see this thing even to the lowest time frame. We're in the red. So even when you're coming down, let's look at the 5-minute chart. How's this looking? We still got work to do, right? We're still underneath this 200 moving average. So I think we got a little bit of pain for the next couple of days. It's nice that it's still holding above 2.0, 2.05. It would look ugly getting under, 2, and we're going back lower. It's like, man, where's this money going? It's not going to SpaceX either. SpaceX is not, knocking it out the park either, right? So it's like, we're definitely in a polar bear situation right now, because this thing pumped up, started at 130, it pumped up close to 200, and now it's right back down. So it's like, it's not like something's just pumping and you're being left behind. There's several plays that we'll talk about on Deck Screener that they're trending, and those top 10 plays, if you're gambling, I think that's the safest trench area. A lot of that stuff underneath that, it's a true gamble for real. So BTC 59,000, we still got a ton of work to go. Even on the 1-minute chart, can we get above the 200 moving average? You could place a little long on there if you wanted to be a 1-minute degen. You could do it on the 1-minute chart, but so far right now, we're really in the red, and the trend is pretty red. All right, let's go to Ethereum next. We did have a nice pump from yesterday's stream. I'm still going to be buying up Solana and buying up more XPX, fam. I'm just going to keep loading up, buying Solana for the cheap. You know, if I thought it was a good price at $67 or $70, Solana being a lot lower, it's even a better price, you know. And when Solana goes right back up, our market cap's going to go up really, really nice, you know, because Solana very easily 2 to 3x from where it's at right now. I really think a lot of this stuff is close to the bottom, but if we break through this bottom that kind of exists, then weekly charts are looking more realistic. Let's come over here to the higher time frame. Man, I wish I can come on here and give you guys nothing but perfect news, but man, these markets, like I was talking to somebody as well, you know, the war has ended and still, you know, we got peace and it's still bad, right? So it's like, all right, so you know, a lot of that market trading that was going on, peace and no peace, you know, hey, the strait is open. Uh, Iran can trade oil and it can do this stuff, but still, market's not that good, right? So it's like, what are we waiting for? And that's like what the bear market, honestly, that I've been through before. It's like it was just a waiting game. It was just a waiting game. And during that time, I wasn't like during the last bear market. And this is why like I appreciate Blunt so much. I never did a short that amounted to anything close to, I mean, not even close. I mean, I tried doing shorts and the minute it wasn't working out for me, I got out of it. I just straight spooked out of it, right? Just being honest, right? And it's like this bear market is different. So although it's tough and although it's really hard, I do want to say that we are coming to this with better understanding of the market, with better opportunity of the market. Because the last bull run, I did really great, right? You got Feg Token going to $1 billion market cap. You got Shinobi going to $1 billion market cap. So made a good amount of money that even when the bear market hit and even being denial for quite a bit that it was a bear market, I had enough cash and enough, you know, NFTs from NFTs that I did. And, you know, granted, some of them that were worth 50,000 when I sold them, they're only worth 5,000. But I had all these little nest eggs, I'm going to call them, right? Where like I was okay, right, during the bear market. But there was a point in the bear market where, you know, that nest egg was getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I was fighting, trying to figure out how to really trade this. And I survived by doing longs. But anytime I would try to short, I would get psyched out of it, man. So it's like, although these markets are really tough, and I know that we're in a polar bear situation, which I kind of like that polar bear because it feels like crypto winter. So I think we're onto something there, or you're onto something, and I'm jumping on your bandwagon if that's all right, Profit Bear, if that's okay with you. But I think that we're coming with a more mature mind, you know, where we can find better opportunities. And this is why I'm being so transparent with you guys, because I've been through a lot of these aches and pains of the market and how it feels. And I think by holding myself accountable with this stuff and being transparent with you guys, it helps us grow, right? And even like with the Derpy play, like just being like, you know, I was writing the ticker and all that stuff happened. I was like, I'm still going to bring it up because they're lessons learned, right? And it's like these markets are tough. But I think that this time around, if you even didn't have a chance of surviving the bear market or you were scared of the bear market, with the experience and we share together and people like Blunt House, like I think you guys should definitely follow him. We have these opportunities. If we go to Blunt House and we look at when he was telling everybody that has been going short for a while, this is the Derpy stuff that I was looking at. But let's come over here. Let's go to where do I got Blunt, because we're going to cover that as well. This is Feg Token. Let me just open a Blunt House right here. We're going to cover a Feg Token as well because we got the bonding curve and yeah, it's what we got. It's right there for us. So we got oil, but let me see if I can find a BTC chart right here. It's like, you know, it's been clear for quite a while, right? And although sometimes it's not stuff that we want to hear or listen to, or that, you know, that's not really the case, or, you know, we just got to deal with it. It's been easier, like for somebody like myself, to digest this stuff, right? And I think that this is why we got to do this together. This is why we grind together, we shine together, because unlike the last bear market, I didn't have this insight to being able to short and being okay with understanding that the market, I felt like the world was against me. Like, oh, come on, man. Anything I do is like, no matter what. But, you know, being able to have this understanding, nobody can take that away from you. You know, that's a cool thing. And that's one of the things he says, honestly. And it's true, right? The markets can be going this, they can be doing that. There could be peace, there could be no peace. And if you're really, you know, disciplined on yourself and practice this, you can have an edge to maybe it's bringing you extra money for your gas or whatever, and you're letting your conviction bag sit, or you're loading up more because you made some gains, and that's what I do with this stuff those gains that I do. I just buy more XPX right from I've extracted so much Solana and BNB from the CEXs. I'm surprised they let me still trade on there, right? Because all I do is when I make gains, I just go buy more XPX. I take that off and just go buy more XPX because I know that I'm willing to do the work for that thing, right? And I know it's going to be here, bear market, bull market, it doesn't matter. So I prefer the truth, even when it hurts. Same here, bro. Same here. And it's like just rip the band-aid off situation. It is what it is, right? And so I think that although I know the markets are tough, and I really wish I can come up here and just be super like, hey guys, the things are just freaking awesome right now and the markets are cool. No, I don't have that for you guys. But what I do have, and I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a guru, I'm not, somebody that you guys got to be paying attention to or anything like that. But I have gone through some of this stuff where like maybe there is something here where we can learn and possibly gain something from these downsides. And what I do is show it myself, right? Like that's what I've done. Like if you guys look at my X, instead of just saying this stuff, and it's like show it, right? And even this post right here, to me, not the money, right? Because it's cool, yeah, it's up 195%, that's awesome. But to me, it's even today, like, because the Derpy thing kind of got me mad or whatever, but it's part of the space, right? It's just that I'm used to XPX stuff, and when you get in the trenches and you get slapped around, it's annoying. But even like myself, like I had to tell myself, like, you know what, this is really nice right here, because this was not something that could be done before. So relying on yourself to be able to do this stuff is crucial. So this is an improvement from the last bear market, right? We're having an improved understanding of these market conditions. And is it perfect? Are we perfect right now? No, we're not perfect right now. But I think that all of us, especially a lot of the listeners and people who have been subscribed to the channel, we're working towards, honing this thing in. And I think it takes us to highlight the times that it was tough, when the markets are, ripping down and stuff. But when we start to look backwards and you're looking at Ethereum right here, this is when we need to start holding ourselves even more accountable, like on these higher time frames. Because look at this 4-hour chart break underneath the 200. That's a $2,300 Ethereum. And even myself, being able to gain the confidence to be able to short it, even on these 4-hour time frames and just let it sit. Like I had a question with Blunt, and it was, maybe you guys like this question as well, but what was the longest you've ever held a trade for it to like be in profit, right? Because even myself, excuse me, a lot of the times, once they're like over 100 and some percent, 200%, I'll close the trade. But you're looking at a trade like this, and you got to ask yourself, do you have what it takes? Like, do you have the patience? Can you like trust your thing good enough for, this is a 43, over a month trade, and that's with, maybe it's getting bullish again, or, you're hearing all this stuff. But if you could have trusted this chart a little bit and just been patient, that would have been a nice short. Yeah, it would have took 44 days for that short to happen. But this is why we bring this stuff up, right? So we can get better at this. Even myself, I want to get better at this so we can all get better at this. And, being able to hold these things a lot longer when the market's kind of been telling us the writing's kind of on the wall, right? We're looking back 44 days. That was a while ago on the 4-hour chart, and the crypto days, but it's like, it's been going down since then. So could you have shorted it at 2,300? You see Bitcoin falling from grace. You short Ethereum or XRP or whatever it is that you want to short, because, it's most likely breaking the 200 like the Mona Lisa, aka BTC, and can I just ride that wave so I can buy more Jesus coins, so I can buy more XPX, so I can buy more of your conviction play that's actually going to give you that upside potential and those real gains? Because making 100x off of ETH is probably not going to happen, right? But, your conviction play will definitely make that happen, right? Because we're so low, so like market caps are so low that the gains are sitting there. So this is why we're doing this, and where the markets are horrible. And, I'm still going to DCA into my getting Solana, getting some BNB, keep building, keep pushing forward, because we're only going to get better and better at this. The markets are not going to be like that, like they're going to turn them off or anything like that. And if anything, they keep turning more things on so more people can trade, right? You got Hyperliquid trading, SpaceX, you got all these things, all these tools that you can use. And they only keep growing with like ETFs and everything like that. So it's like, it's going to keep growing, right? It's not going nowhere. But can I spend some time just refining my thought process, my discipline, not trying to make Lambo money in one day, and let it, like, maybe even this trade that I'm holding right now, maybe this could be a lesson for me because I'm still holding that trade. It was up 198%, is up 153% right now. Should I practice that? Is that one of my 1,000%ers on Sin? Let's go to Sin really quick, and we'll continue on. We'll continue here on ETH in a second. We're in flow state right now, fam. And it's like, because I want us to win. It's like, these things happen even to me, right? It's like you're not exempt from, sometimes, yeah, you're already in the winning trade. How long is it going to be a winner? But it's like, man, those big winners are, on those higher time frames where you got to be patient and really ignore the noise to see it go that much higher, right? So we're trading this one. Let's go to crypto, see if we can get the futures account. We could just see if they got the perpetuals. Is it there? Nope. Future. Is it there? Nope. All right, so we'll go right here on the Binance one because BYD-Fi uses the API keys from Binance, so it's very similar. So it's like, this thing just wicked up crazy, right? So I place a short at the top because that's just crazy move action. It's like, am I in a good thing where like this thing's going to keep going down even further down, right? It could be one of those shorts that's like, now it's time for it to come down. It did its dance, right? It did its pump, and now we're going to be able to see, where it comes back down to some of the lows that it had before. So we'll keep an eye on this one as well, see if we let it run. But I think on some of these higher time frame plays like Ethereum, XRP, Solana, I think we got to respect, we got nothing to lose. I mean, the time we've already been spending it in here, right? So let's go to the daily chart, and we're going to highlight all this stuff, man. We're going to look right at the pimple in the face and talk about this, and even go a little bit higher and show these examples, because I even want to hear them myself. It's like, look at right here on the daily chart. Ethereum breaking the 200 moving average higher, $3,500 Ethereum. How long did it take right here? It's like, how do we get ourselves to the point of so refined, that we can hold a short trade for 200 something days, right? 222 days, because somebody got to do it. And that's a big trade right there. And we're going to keep practicing this. We're going to get better and better and more confident with our strategy and our methodology and how we apply this, so that we can get better and everybody can really win in the space, right? Because it was there. It was on the wall, right? And man, that's short. That's more money for your Jesus, for your mullet coin, for your Weedsta, for your XPX, for your FEG token, for whatever it is that you're super bullish on. The market's giving these opportunities. And this is why sometimes I get frustrated with the trenches, because you almost don't have to worry about getting rugged if you're doing this, right? So Ethereum right here, $1,500 Ethereum, giving you this opportunity right here, bouncing off this level that we've seen before. Is it something that's going to hold? If you see ETH break past this level that it's been before, I would be saying that it's going to go lower. And that's where this weekly chart is what a lot of people are talking about and looking at these lower prices for ETH. Like, imagine ETH coming back down here to, $900 ETH. If we started to lose some of this area over here, this little support that we had around $1,500 ETH, that thing's going a lot lower. It was going lower. We have a sell signal on the weekly chart up here. You have right here, you have another one at 2,600, but your daily chart was like perfect for Ethereum. It don't get no prettier than this. Break right there, $3,500 ETH. Put a little short. It doesn't have to be nothing too crazy. Just something that, okay, I'm testing this out. I'm learning it. And boom. So there it goes. And it's been right there. Let's go to, we're going to go to XRP next. Another daily chart is really giving us this hindsight, man. And this is, I should have named this stream that. This is just kind of like what we're learning together, right? And let this polar bear do what the polar bear has to do. Don't let your conviction play. Protect your investments on your conviction play. And even I do it. Like, I'm practicing what I preach with, like, that short. Like, when I'm done with that short, what am I going to do? I'm going to swap the USDT, because they only let you trade futures in USDT. Once I'm done with that short, I swap the USDT for Solana. I withdraw it, and I create a wallet, and I buy another bag of XPX, and I get good, token distribution, more holders, and I'm holding more of the thing that I know that I'm willing to work my butt off for. And I got an amazing community backing me up. But as far as these markets, XRP, It's tough. It's just a tough market right now, you know, and this is why we got to talk about these short opportunities and detaching from whether there's going to be peace or there's not going to be, because now there's peace, and why is the market still going down? Can somebody tell me? I thought when peace happened and the oil went down and all this stuff was going to happen and it was going to go up. And it's like, it's not happening. And that's why sometimes I don't want to get caught up in that so much. I rather, you know, imagine if I place this short on XRP and I don't care what they're saying on TV, you know, at $1.50, or I go to the daily chart on XRP and, you know, XRP up here when it was doing really good, 259. I don't care what they're saying on TV. You know, it's breaking this 200 moving average. October 10th happened. That was a signal for everybody. And I want to tell everybody this actually, because this happened last time, except it was with Luna, Celsius, and FTX, and it caused like that mass wipeout. I think that was a good way to point fingers at everybody and stuff, and who those are the people that it landed on, with the Voyager, Luna, FTX, Gemini was the other one. You know, all these things that happened. But at the end of the day, something similar happened just like that. Just there wasn't really too many fingers to point. They're blaming Binance and stuff like that, obviously, because a lot of the API keys that a lot of CXs uses. So everything just dumped all at once. But when that thing happens next bull run and there's like some kind of crazy wipeout, whatever impulse goes right back up, it's fake. You know, whenever all that, a large amount of liquidity gets wiped out and, you know, it's trillions of dollars, it's like, that's it. I don't know where they're going to, I know we're printing it nonstop, but we don't got it. I don't know where you guys got it locked up, but we don't have it. So we're still waiting, man. XRP right here trading at $1.04. Going on the weekly chart, there's some scarier prices for XRP, fam. We got a meme coin that we're going to talk about that I got sent in the DMs, XRPS. You know, little trench play. Like I said, be cautious with these trench plays because, you know, they could be here today and gone tomorrow. That's kind of how the space is, right? Especially with this type of market sentiment. But when you're looking at XRP on a higher time frame on the weekly chart, you got the point of control down here, 52 cents. And we'll see, man. We'll see. Is this polar bear really going to just hawk out on us and really turn up and just keep going lower? But these trends, they're still relatively red, and we got peace. We need some money to come in. And I think right now it's like, it's all about your conviction play, you know, shorting the market and protecting your conviction play that you've been working your butt off. That's what it comes down to. Like, you know, chasing everything, trying to make the Lambo in one day, it could be pretty dangerous. I'm not saying that there's not people out there doing it, because I see the posts, you know, people that post. I'm into a lot of the TGs, you know, they got that new bot that shows you how much gains, and then you go click on that token and it's gone, which we just experienced. It's like, I don't want to, I don't want to manage that much, right? Like babysitting that wallet, whether people can hold overnight or not. I'd rather just short it and count on myself that the short is good and I can just make more money for my conviction play. So this is a big topic. Like shorting and conviction plays are hard right now. Like, you know, I was chilling with some of the Can Do fam as well. And, you know, like, work for your bag. You've already worked so hard for it. What are you going to do? You know, tuck your tail? It's like, no, we got to work for our bags. These are our conviction plays because we're fighting against the current right now in certain situations. So XRP could be seeing some lower prices. We got a meme coin XRP that somebody sent me that we'll talk about. It's actually trending. I have it up here already ready. You guys can check it out. This is the first one that we're talking about. But like I said, it's fresh. It's 23 days old. It's been doing pretty good. This one's a little bit better because it actually has went up and has a community around it. And we'll see if this one continues to last. But, you know, Derpy was good for one day and then the next day's not. I don't know which ones are going to be good and which ones are not. So you got to tread lightly. And that's why, like, I love my conviction plays. Honestly, that's one of my best things that I love is, you know, not having to worry that Darren doesn't have my back or Mr. Mo doesn't have my back or Profit Bear needs to cheat or something like that because the market's got them scared or whatever. It's like, no, I got a solid community that understands, like, we're on a mission and we're actually accomplishing the mission. It's not like it's a failed mission. It's not like the mission's not coming closer, like it's not being fulfilled. It's actually on track to being fulfilled. Like I could see it 100%. If I didn't see it, I'd be like, I don't see it. You know, just like I talked to you guys about the market's not looking that good right now. We had a nice little impulse. It felt good. But then when it changes, it just changes, right? And it's okay for that to be like that, right? And just the weather changes. Hey, guess what? If I started telling you it was night outside and you see the sun, you're going to think I'm crazy, right? So it's like, let's just keep it real. And, you know, that's the type of market that we're in right now. So BNB right here taking a dip, and you're seeing BNB plays take a little bit of a dip, and you know, don't panic sell your conviction plays just because the stuff is like this. You know, get BNB for a cheaper price, get your Solana for a cheaper price, load up on it, work for your bag, or let the markets figure themselves out. Don't be mad at any other individual. Nobody can fix BTC being at the price that it's at right now. Nobody, we can go all get a bunch of pitchforks and lanterns right now and go march wherever you want to go march. And it's not going to make the BTC price go up. Right. So it's like, how can we adapt to this situation? And I think one of the best things that we can do, it's not financial advice. I think, hey, you know what? The best advice I could probably say, go on a beach and put a pina colada and drink a pina colada. It could be a virgin pina colada if you don't drink alcohol, and with a little umbrella, and just let the markets figure themselves out. But if you're somebody that is still willing to put in the effort for, your investment that you might have or whatever, then we grind together, right? And we highlight these things, that the shorts and the conviction is where a lot of cool things are actually going to happen when these markets turn around. BNB right now at $560, really, struggling just like everything else. Nobody's being left behind out of the struggle. The struggle is being universally put out. It doesn't care if you're black, white, Chinese, Puerto Rican, Cuban, whatever you might be, everything in between. Everybody's feeling the same pain, right? And even with BNB right now, it's trading underneath this 200 moving average. Any time frame we check is trading underneath the 200. And if you want to catch some of the impulse moves and be more on the degen side of things on these lower time frames, I'll be honest, when there's massive wipeouts like this, and they go like that, there are these uptrends. Like I know somebody caught this. I could have caught this, honestly, when it was happening. I was making the live stream and putting the tickers and everything like that. And it was like, boom, this thing dumped. It's like those little impulse moves up. There's trades that exist. They're a lot riskier, but they do exist, and you'll find them on those shorter time frames. But when you go back to, looking at a weekly chart or something like that, you're quickly reminded, even when it comes to BNB, showing a very similar chart on like a similar chart to like Bitcoin, that if we're losing this 200, there's a lot of downside for this on a weekly chart. We're at make or break areas. Look at how close this BNB chart looks to the BTC chart. It's almost identical, right? Where like previous tops coming over here to the same section. We go to BTC, it looks almost like identical. You got your little cap bounce with his little tail. You got the little cat right there, and you got his two ears. It's not perfect. And you got a little meow right here, and there's a little tail. You go to BTC and you look at the last all-time high. It was a dead cat bounce as well. The dead cat bounce, and then this kind of uptrend right here. So I think that BNB will move kind of similar to BTC if BTC, did fall to some of those crazy prices. You're seeing, BTC going underneath 50 and the market gets more bearish. You could definitely see where, you're having these impulse moves on the shorter time frames, but these higher time frames is kind of the writing on the wall. Like, hey, we've been bearish for a while. We're probably going to go a little bit lower. And on this daily chart, we can probably see where BNB could go. The weekly chart shows us the point of control, which is so far away that you guys might even change the channel right now. So this down here is a $300 BNB. It trades into this gap. So we're minimizing our downside risk by just being honest about it. Just be, hey, this is where it's at. So like that, you can take care of your family. It's like, hey, no matter what we do, it's going to be a little bit of a tough market. I wish I can come up here, but I'd be wrong if I didn't tell you guys, that the markets are not a little bit tough and you see these type of things. That's not what we're doing over here. So BNB, just like the rest of the market, little impulse move up, higher time frame, still looking pretty bearish. We're right at a crucial level that, even on a daily chart, let's turn this thing around, right? Let's see it turn around. And I'll be the first one when we start breaking over this 200 moving average and we've seen this market do what it's supposed to do. I'll be one of the first ones to be like, guys, ladies, gentlemen, it's turning around. But it's been for a while that I've been, and it's tough sometimes because I want to come up here and, but that's why I'm so bullish on like XPX or like the community members that have solid projects that are around me, because those are some of the winning plays right now as these markets figure themselves out. I can control what I do with XPX. I can't control the buyers and sellers, but I know that my work ethic and the building in the background and what we're going to be producing, I can count on that. I don't know what the rest of the market. I can't control what everybody else does, right? But I can control what I'm doing. And that's why I'm so bullish on you guys in XPX, honestly. BNB right here at $557 still has some serious work to do. to curl back up, and we're going to be waiting. Here goes that Solana dip that really made me like a what's up, brother? Made me kind of like a proud dev, because we have Solana take a dip like crazy, and the XPX community just stands up, like people buying it up, some nice little small buys, loading up, and really just holding the floor. And the market took a dip where like what 312K or 3K 300K, and we're still like right around there. And now the market's recovering, which is really nice. And we got ourselves a play right there. There's for some reason, we're tapping into, you don't turn the cheek on being able to do $62,000 and $62,840 in paid orders in 1 month. We have something here with XPX. So I'm glad that we got a community that, even though the market sentiment changed, you got, your trench plays dumping, you got full on rugs that happen. XPX is built different because of the people that's in it, right? The community that's in it and what we're actually doing. And we can see the light. I mean, that if any project was tapping into, last month was 50,000, this month is 62,000, the month 2 months before was 80 some thousand, we're well over $440,000 in paid orders. This will turn into something. So I'm, seeing Solana take a dip like that, and the XPX community being so strong and our sentiment just being on point, like it's so refreshing. And it's like, it cements why I'm in this space. And it's like, middle fingers to the market, middle fingers to the rugs, and the things that dump, and for whatever reason that they do, or the Jeets selling on each other, that just cascades the whole thing. And it's like, and it's all about like your conviction plays and trying to print more money off of shorting the market. Like I made the post off of shorting Sin earlier before the stream, which I'm still holding that short. I'm not telling you guys to short it because I'm shorting it or chasing that play or whatever, or how low it's going to go. I'm currently at 171% up, which earlier was 198 when I posted it, but we're holding that short on that play because the market's pretty bearish, right? What do? I take those funds, I buy more XPX because I know I got a community backing me up. I know that I'm actually building, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to the utilities that we're producing are being used and being adopted. It's one thing to release utility, it's a whole nother thing to get adoption. I know that firsthand. Nobody can tell me anything about that. You want to tell me about being super bullish about releasing cards? Okay, that's cool. Now get everybody to use them. All right, cool. They used it once. Now make it so good where they keep using it, where you have returning customers and things like that for your products and services. That's a whole nother ballpark of managing that side, right? The hiccups and bumps along the way, how you adjust and pivot to make sure that, and that's why XPX is at, over $440,000 in paid orders. It's going to go into the millions. I know it is, because we're barely scratching the surface of payments. So Solana has highlighted how strong that community is today. XPX, if you're listening, if you got some spare change, check under your seat in your car, buy some more Solana for the low. I think as far as conviction goes, XPX really showed a lot today with the market dumping as hard as it did, and us standing really strong. So Solana cheaper for those conviction plays that you have, buying more Cluck Norris, these devs that pull up no matter what and are working for your bags. Those are the guys you want to support. Those guys are, real trench warriors for their projects, and not really just being like 99.9% of the plays that you guys that we bump into, that we just bumped into one, right? So that's just part of the space. So Solana definitely struggling. Daily chart, we're far away, and when these markets turn around, we're going to definitely tell you guys what's going on with it. But we're a ways away from where we need to be. And again, this is why I'm highlighting this. Even myself, Fire Chicken, Darren, Profit Bear, my brothers in crypto, I love you guys, man. I want you guys to win. Why didn't we short Solana right up here on the daily chart, right? Why didn't we just short it? Why we're trying to make the Lambo money in one day? Why are we trying to fix all our problems in 1 week? It's like we could have shorted Solana at $184, and we would have a massive little bag to buy more Cluck Norris, to buy more. And this is why I'm mentioning all this, like, crappy market situations and all this stuff, because there was chances and opportunities for us to grab this. And I did on most of them, because obviously this is why I'm still here and, work from home and stuff like that. But could have they been better, right? And this is where I want to refine this with you guys and refine it myself. We work together on refining this and making it a lot better. So, yeah, we got Solana right here at $66. And, when this daily chart goes back up above this, I think my longs and my shorts, as far as respecting the day, I don't want to chase these too much. So I'm still trading on, shorter time frames, catching shorts on 1 hours and stuff like that, 4-hour charts or whatnot. Boom, 1 hour chart, short from 71. Cool. That's a nice little short. That happens. But I want us all to get to the point and I think when the markets actually turn back around and on these daily charts, and on these weekly charts, I'm gonna be like, hey, fire chicken, profit bear, guess what? We're finally back above the 200 moving average on a higher time frame, and things are looking really good. This could be where, just like anybody who got the long right here got to ride that nice wave, or anybody who got in before the bull run, look at this right here. We could have did this back to back on the daily chart. This is the last one, 141. Rode it all the way down here. We could have waited this whole time. How long was this? Let's see how long this was. We got to talk about this, fam. We got to talk about it. It's not pretty. All right. I'm not. I clean up nice, right? I clean up nice. There's times that I clean up nice, shave, I clean up nice, but this ain't pretty. This ain't pretty. So we could have shorted it for 628 days. That was a long bear market. That was a long bear market. We could have shorted that, right? And we didn't. But look at how we could have longed it as well when it did break above the 200 moving average. And then that same token goes for, if we would have waited and we got that massive short on the daily chart, we could have longed it from here to when things got ugly. Let's call the first one right here. We'll be fair right here. And it didn't break back above. We could have caught that, but let's just say this one, the first, it got above the 200 and then it stayed above there until it broke right here. Then we could have did a long for 501 days. So this is what we're going to refine together, and we're not going anywhere, whatever the price of the markets are, because we're really honing in on our 10,000 hours on how to get this super perfect for us to, even hand some of this information down. So the next time that we see this and we're waiting patiently on a daily chart, maybe it'll be the next run for 500 days. But we have to wait for that to happen. We're still waiting for this to come about on Solana, and maybe there's a short one. Maybe we get above the 200 like it did right here from 160 to 260, 250, but then coming right back down, and then we switch it right back around. So there's tons of trades that we can respect on a daily chart that can bring more money for you for pissing, right? Like the short that I did today. I could have just, after I'm done shorting it, swap it and get some more pissing. Right. And that's what I'm trying to get. And it's not financial advice. I'm not saying that you could do this perfectly or anybody can, but there's something here for us to really refine this all the way. Right. So I'll be getting some more Solana, more into my conviction play is XPX. Of course, we're going to talk about it right now. We'll go into some of the other plays. We'll talk about Derpy, the one night sensation for whatever reason. Market dump, everybody dumps. But I do want to talk about XPX, and I've been talking about it kind of throughout the stream because it's kind of like it just highlights the strength of community, because the markets just freaking did a whole lot to everybody. And this thing is like, the community is just right there. And if you were sitting on the sidelines and you were thinking like, hey, maybe I shouldn't, or I'm waiting. I mean, this is proof that this is a great investment. Talk to your financial advisor about it. I'm not him, right? But with the market condition, what it did, and for us to be still holding exactly where we're basically at, yeah, we pulled back a little bit, because we're kind of like, I think we were like 312 or 319 or something, and then the market pulled back, and obviously Solana pulling back, it pulls our market cap, but you didn't have like you have like what happened with Derpy, what happens in the trenches, where everybody just starts selling on each other. It's like, and then boom, all the big bags dump, and it's like it's all gone now. It's all gone. It's like, these plays like this is XPX is like, hold on to this thing. This is a true gem right here. This is the definition to me of a beautiful freaking purple ammunition, freaking purple gem. Like, it don't get no better than that. Appreciate those who just snatched up some more XPX. Like, I'm super bullish on you guys, honestly. But if you're not having a bag of XPX and you want to be almost not completely exempt, because obviously the market sucked, but man, what a cool community. I wish I could give all these people a hug, like a big old, people were like, hey, Rico, that's cringe, right? But it's like, I think that was a big step for us to, you see this market condition. You have an example like Derpy. You have all these other things. I was looking at other stuff on Pump Fund too, because I know some people do like them. Like, I get DMs all the time. Like, get me something early under, underneath this market cap, but it's way more riskier, and then they don't have a community. They don't have something to push it further when we have that right here. I'm going to talk about some of the things that we have as a project. Hopefully they can highlight how undervalued this project really is, right? And really get you to understand that we're here for a long-term vision, and the community today really prove how strong they are together. Shout out to Prophet Bear, Darren, Jace, Safir, Cesar, and all the guys in the back end that hold that don't even check in all the time. They just know that we're building. Danielle, Psychedelic Angel, the people that just keep pulling up nonstop. TK, this is a play that has a really strong foundation, and it's only going to keep getting stronger as it continues to grow, right? So I'm going to talk about some of the things that we got going on over here, because XPX is obviously extremely bullish. And I want you guys to see why this thing's undervalued. The amount of tech that we have under the hood. When you look underneath the hood of XPX, it's programmed, fam. Okay, it's literally it's programmed for us to win. It's basically there for us to say, hey, you know what? This thing's amazing. They built this thing out. This is awesome. But I'm gonna show you guys something. It's like it's being adopted, fam. It's being adopted. Okay, it's one thing to release all these utilities, but it's a whole nother to actually see it being adopted. We are truly onto something right here. And I'm very grateful for these numbers. I truly am, because it's amazing that, we started this project and started this company, and it's just organic, grassroots as it gets. I mean, from DJing activities to building this thing out to being just a YouTuber to where we're at today. I mean, that's an amazing story. I would pick up that purple book and freaking read it on how you turned, a project and turned it into a multi-million-dollar company. That story is literally in the making for this project. And not because I'm saying that, but because we have utility that can really facilitate what people need in the space, right? People need non-KYC cards. People need KYC 100K limit cards that they use their ID and their POA. People need cards that, hey, I travel a lot. I need something that I can sign up with my passport. These are all tools that comes down to what people need, right? Whether they like me or they don't like me. That's not the case. Whether you need this type of stuff. Maybe you're not using XPX, but whether or not you will be using some form of payment rails to live your life, because crypto is the future. Crypto is how everything's going to be done. Maybe it's not being done through XPX, and you don't like the color purple for whatever reason, right? But mark my words, in one way or another, the way that you handle your finances in your day-to-day, especially as crypto continues to evolve, will be through some kind of payment rail. You guys have that opportunity right here. Like I said, and I'm showing you guys, right? I just screenshotted this from my main dash, and it's like, we're on to something, fam. Okay. And we got an amazing community that can see that we're onto something, right? When the rest of the market took a dump, when some things rug, when the trenches are just poking each other's eyes out, we stood strong together and we buy it up even more. Say, what? Solana's cheaper now? I'm going to buy more XPX because my little 6K bag is going to turn into 60K bag, or it's going to turn into a 600K bag because I'm going to ride this wave with Rico all the way to this turns into a well over multi-million-dollar company. And it's in the making. It's in the making, not because of Rico, because I know this can happen. So I'm going to go over some of the details of these utilities, because I mean, today is a really, conviction is a strong thing right now. Shorts is a big thing, but this play right here in that community holding it strong when the rest of the markets were panicking, like that's a proud moment. Like I said, if I can give everybody a hug, I truly would. Each of these utilities, XPX, I'm very grateful for the numbers that we're pulling. I believe that each of these utilities should bring in multi-million dollars on their own, especially this one that we just released. This is one of the reasons why I was mentioning, going to 7 figures so much. We were talking about 6 figures. Now we're talking about 7 figures. I know for a fact we'll be talking about 8 figures. That day will come when we're talking about 8 figures for XPX, especially the amount of money that's coming through the portal. How do we do that? How do we get these numbers a lot higher? Well, we were capped off before with our 100K limit card. And with this 100K card, people can get up to 5 cards and have up to 500K limit spending power, which is awesome. I mean, that's good. I mean, we don't all need that, right? There's somebody, but trust me, there's people out there that need it. We didn't get to 440,000 by accident. So people need it. But what about the people that we're missing out on that need the $1 million that, that needs to spend over 500K? We need to tap into that. Each of these utilities will be multi-million-dollar widgets that provide, more revenue for this company and for this project. You guys are early investors into something great. I'll touch on a couple of topics right here because I don't think we get enough credit, because once the utilities release, it's like, the market usually tends to be like, oh, that's awesome. They released a utility, super cool. But we had 10 countries, and from 10 countries, we went to 106 countries. That's extremely bullish that we're not only releasing utility, but refining the utility to have a further reach. Because to me, us having our cards live in 170 plus countries and our bill payments live in 106 countries, those are seeds planted around the world that all we got to do is water them, and get the word out there, and we'll get the client base to take this thing to Valhalla like everybody wants to go, right? Non-KYC gift cards, non-KYC MasterCard. This is all bullish stuff. I'm going to go to our X account, go over the details of that $1 million card. Then we're going to go and talk about some more plays as well. Go to Xrps, that's on there, and cover a couple other ones as well. So let me go to the main account right here to go over some of this, because to highlight this stuff really shows you how XPX is connected. You right now are an investor in a project that can facilitate $20,000 per transaction. The person can spend $250,000 a day, and they can spend $1 million a month. And we got the networks, the bandwidth, the liquidity pools to facilitate this. If me, Profit Bear, Piston, and everybody wanted to do this today, we could. That level of connection is why a lot of cool things that's going to happen for us coming up, and actually in the following year, as far as how XPX is going to deliver with current technology. If you guys can connect the dots, right? Read in between the lines. But this is what's going to help us scale up and go after, corporations, and going after, the institutional money that might need this for their business. Their business is spending that easy a month, maybe their business is spending that in 1 month. They need to be able to do a $20,000 transaction and not get flagged or get harassed. Bam, we got that covered. You need to load the card with $1 million. Piston needs to load it with $1 million. Profit Bear needs to load it with $1 million. Guess what? $3 million sitting there right now to load up all of your guys' cards. The infrastructure around XPX, it's proof of how undervalued this project is. And the conviction of this community today, when the market took a dump, only highlights that even more. I want to cover one more thing when it comes to the fees, because I also think that, the crypto space is so trenchy and all that we don't get, honestly, enough credit about this. So currently we've lowered our fees. So we started off 4.6%. Our MasterCards with 100K limit are still 4% fee, but our $1 million cards, we've lowered the fees. The entry level for the card, you think we're gatekeeping it? We could have charged $100 a card. We could have did that. Why? Let's open the floodgates. Let's get everybody on our platform. Let's have a beautiful resume and make it easy for everyone. Your card costs you $9. It's $10, but we cannot issue a card without it having a balance. So you're being charged the $10, but really we're putting one of those dollars onto the card, and you're being charged $9 for $1 million card that gives you all this purchasing power. What? You can't even do that anywhere. Go to Walmart, go anywhere to go. You can't do that anywhere. Another thing that we did, we lowered our fees on this card. This card is right with industry standards, and not even right with industry standards. It's competing with industry standards. Why? Because we want to compete. We don't want to make it so hard that we're trying to penny pinch and we're charging 5% or we're charging a lot because we're so worried about making the dollar that we're missing out on the client. So we want to be competitive with the likes. If we're going to go after PayPal, we're going to top 100. Well, you have to be competitive against this stuff. The industry standards are anywhere from 3.5% all the way to 6%. We're right in that range. We're right there. The fact that we can do that and compete with the likes of the big names and not be squeezed that, we got to do it higher because we're not them, that's amazing. Trust me that I'm telling you that part of that XPX part is crazy amazing that it's at 3.75%. Another thing that we've done, we lowered the fee of this card. It's down to $7 a month. If you're loading up $250,000 or $1 million at a time, that is nothing for you. And we're going to have some amazing clients that are happy that say, hey, it's not costing that much. It's actually cheaper to use XPX. Some of the technology in the future that they're letting me connect to my card is even making it, less demanding of myself. Fam, there's a lot of stuff right here that's under the hood of XPX that should not be ignored. And that's why I'm highlighting it. Don't worry, we're going to get some plays. I know we're hit the hour mark. We're going to go through all the deck screener plays. We've been cooking about hour and a half long streams or 2-hour streams. I kind of been going overboard. I usually try to do it in an hour. I don't want you guys getting sick and tired of me and stuff like that, right? So I don't want to do it too long, but but yeah, $7 right here. Super amazing. So and this comes with at our 2-year anniversary. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So do not miss out on XPX. There's going to be tons of all this stuff. There's PayPal already. There's Zelle. But were you able to get in on the ground floor before it became PayPal? Were you able to get in on the ground floor before it became whatever name it is, whatever provider you're using, whatever crypto provider you're using? I know some people use Revolut. There's a lot of them. I'm happy for them. I drink a lot of different sodas too. And sometimes Coke is my favorite. Every once in a while, I like to have a Sprite. Cool. There's a lot of them. You know, I like barbecue chips, but you know, if I feel like it's been long enough since I haven't had no heartburn, I'm gonna try a spicy chip every once in a while. There's a lot of different flavors and stuff. But were you able to get in at the ground floor before they built that up, or are you just a user? Are you just using Revolut? Are you just using PayPal? Or are you an investor in PayPal? Are you an investor in Revolut or some of the bigger names in the space that does this? Probably not. You probably, you know, just a user, right? And I want you guys to be a part of this project, to be part of what we're doing over here and become a provider with me that's providing this utility to the whole world from the ground up to becomes what the household name that I know it deserves to be. It will be a household name. That purple will be a brand that's recognized for payments. Watch. So that is XPX. It definitely marks the spot. I want to say a big thanks to the community. You guys are absolutely amazing. I mean, today really shows the strength of the community. We need some some of that motion because you guys are absolutely epic. And yeah, $1 million market cap. We got a lot of ammo to push this thing a lot further. Like I said, I'm currently in talks. I don't want to do it at this market cap or this market condition, but when we get closer to that $1 million market cap, there's going to be some DeFi marketing that we're going to do, and then some IRL marketing that we're going to do as well, right? Because I want to put these $1 million cards in the faces of people of Las Vegas. That's what I want to do. And if Stake is doing it, if Rootbet is doing it, and that's because there's an audience here in Vegas that gambles with cryptocurrency, and there's billboards currently up right now. So these people gambling on Rootbet, these people gambling on Stake and all these other platforms, they need a way to spend that money that they've made, right? That jackpot that they hit. XPX is going to be one of those projects that does that. So thank you guys so much. Let's go to the next project. We're going to be covering this XRPS. Then we'll go to Derpy next, which is freaking annoying as heck. But that's the trenches, and the trenches will make you, it will remind you why I'm building utility. Honestly, that's what it comes down to. So we got this one right here, XRPS. You know, these projects, you know, this one's pumped up. These ones up here are a little bit stronger. I know sometimes, like I said, I get DMs all the time, people who want stuff underneath 100K. Well, that's what happens. You guys let me know. Do you guys want more of the risky plays? Do you guys want me to keep covering the deck screener hot plays? Let me know what you guys want. I don't mind covering these things, but especially with these market conditions, it's a lot harder to navigate that stuff. And sometimes it's better getting in at 400K market cap instead of getting in at 40K market cap. Like, yeah, it's cool when you see it going up, but the minute everybody starts selling on each other, then it's a cascade effect, right? So this is a play that I got sent in the DM. They wanted me to mention this, so a little play coming up on the ticker for you guys. XRPS. I've been tapped in with the XRP community since the Bitcoin conference and the XRP conference. So you have a lot of this stuff where they got introduced, and I've been seeing a lot of them come out with plays, and you know, they're kind of they're mixed into what they like, right? So their plays are like XRP driven plays, but you know, this is a play that went up to $2.2 million market cap. It is making a great floor right here, considering the market conditions. And XRP, maybe you guys can make a new home for people, right? And get the XRP people to come over here to make some gains, because XRP is going to be posted a lot. So XRP Super Cycle is the ticker on this one. We're going to go to their X account and their website. So you got XRP Super Cycle stats right here. You know, you probably got better chances on XRPS than XRP right now. But then again, it could derpy you, right? You can get derped and that can happen, which is freaking annoying. But I found like even a lot of the Matt Fury plays that I got were stuff that I found, you know, not super high market cap, but already kind of somewhat established, right? That you have people rating, that you have a community, that you see posts on the X account, that you see people pushing it really hard. And it's a lot easier for you. Some of the Matt Fury plays that I did really good on, they were already like above $1 million market cap and hit like 5 million and came back down. It's like, oh, if it hit 5 million, most likely it's going to go up to 5 million. If it breaks it, it'll go a lot higher. So, from $1 million market cap, most people, they're looking at XPX and it was like, oh, it's at 300. I want to get in at 30K market cap. It's like, all right, but what comes with those getting in at those prices? Sometimes those plays don't last that long. So it's like a lot of my Matt Fury plays that I've done really good on, I bought them over $1 million market cap. I mean, can do $28 million market cap, $38 million market cap, went to 280. Why? Because it had a community established. It had people around it and everything like that. So you gotta take that into consideration as well. So this one right here, we'll go to their X account, see what they got cooking over here. You got this guy right here, Young Hoon Kim, IQ 276, official world record certificate. Okay. From South Korea, bro, super smart. And I guess they're, sending a coin off of that. And that's what they're gonna do. Man, is this actually the world's highest? He got a lot of followers. Is this actually him? And watch him still rug too and stuff. It's like even, yeah, it's 417,000 followers. That's quite a bit. That's quite a bit. So I would keep an eye on this. That page has a lot of influence for sure. It just got to be consistent with the post. This was 4 hours ago. You got boost 5 hours ago, but this is a massive page right here. Like this is huge. That's a lot of power right there. So this is one that we're going to keep on the radar right here. For sure. It's at 417K. Forget it up here. Does that page have where if he keeps posting about this, it can go further? Is this, do your due diligence, check underneath the hood, look underneath all this stuff. I'm like, hey, even with that type of page, you still got everybody cheating. People would see this and I would want to see it go further. And people are like, you know what? That's good enough. I'm selling, right? It's like, I'm sure he's feeling that. It's like, no matter what, that happens. So this one's looking really good. We'll mark this one up because we'll see where this one develops and how it goes. Right here came down to 250. That was the dip. You got 500K is the next mark that it's going to break past, right? Which was like a resistance before. Put it a little bit higher, but about 500K is right there. It's close enough. And then you got your $1 million market cap right there that obviously caused more of a breakout and went a lot higher once it did that. So, if you're looking at a little play and you're like, hey, it has a strong account, XRP super cycle sounds like a really good narrative. It has probably some good potential. Only put in what's not going to get you too irritated. And you're still going to be irritated because even I was irritated with some of the stuff that happens in the space. Like, that's why I love XPX, because it's there and it's going to stay there. So XRP super cycle. Keep an eye on this one. Now let's go to this one right here that we covered, which was doing really good. And obviously it's not no more. It's freaking done. It's a done data, as they say. And if we go to my page, like in the crypto space, this is somewhat good, right? Because we called it at 9K market cap and it went all the way up to 35K. It went higher. I don't know. I was started to do other stuff last time I checked. I think it went up to like close to 50 or whatever. But when I made this post, this is a funny looking meme. And I've seen where bunnies do really good. But again, these trenches are relentless. They don't care. And it's like, you'll send a bunch of DMs. I posted it everywhere, put in some soul in there. And it's like, that doesn't do anything. It didn't even work out. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. And you just have Solana dump. You have everybody dumping on each other and you just have this thing that wipe out. But in some regards, in the trenches, it's still good that it went from 9K to 35K. Because if you go in, the major trending bot right now, there's current things that are, about to bond. And there's some people who trade these things. You guys let me know in the chat right now. Do you guys want to see more of these plays before they bond? Are you somebody that makes gains like right before it bonds or after it bonds? If you guys want to see more of them and it's something that you guys want to see, that's cool. But they are pretty risky. And I think they remind me of conviction plays and plays that actually have communities. And that's why, even though I was irritated while I was making this live stream and I saw that happen, and then I'm getting DMs from some people that I said, hey, check this out, solid play. I threw in some soul, maybe throw in a couple of soul, it'll probably go higher. It's like nothing, right? And so that's what we have. But some people live off of, being able to make these gains. So you guys let me know in the chat, are you guys a trench warrior? Are you guys catching plays like this? Or is this something that you guys want to see? Is this part of the space that you guys like to be in, where, you know, you're catching plays from 9K market cap when I posted it? You know, yesterday everybody sent me DMs that they were happy. Today I got DMs that people were mad, but that's crypto. I can't control the space, fam. And just like you, I was irritated. Just like you, I was annoyed, right? Because you have people just nonstop, you know, selling on top of each other, and then everybody's wondering what happened. It's like, that's what happened. You know, it's like the space is reckless. But, you know, you go into some TGs and they're posting contract addresses all day, and this is what they like. And, you know, you guys let me know. Do you guys want to see more of these trench plays, more of these pre-bonding curve plays? Let me know. Send me a DM. Let me know in the chat. Maybe you don't want to say it publicly that you like these plays, but send me a DM. Say, Rico, you know what? I wouldn't mind another one. You know, I got in at 9K when you first posted it. I took some profits at the top. It's like, if you got to, fine, you know, awesome. You know, if you guys want to see more of this, it's part of the space. Whether I'm covering this stuff or not, it's going to exist no matter what, right? Most of these trending up here on Dex Screener, they're most likely not going to stay up there trending on Dex Screener. So this was a little reminder of conviction plays. It is what it is, fam. We keep it moving and grooving, and you know, on to the next, because that's what we've been doing for, I don't know how long we've been doing in this space, right? We got one right here that's come up as well. Somebody sent me a DM on this one. It's funny because we joke around feet all the time, and now you got a feet coin play right here called Toes Coin. And you know, how strong is Toes Coin going to be? You know, how powerful is this? But you know what? I found out a lot of people like feet in the space. All you fetish people are up in crypto. That's what's crazy. But let's put a horizontal line of this $10 million market cap. Let's respect our pattern, right? Because this pattern, like I said, even on the Matt Fury plays, everybody wants to get in at 30K. I'm not knocking it. If you still want me to mention, you know, we got Piston at 22K. We could have bought Piston up yesterday and pumped that chart, and that would have went higher, right? And traded Piston's chart instead of trading, you know, a trench thing. But that's part of the space. What can you do? But even this right here, when it comes to, let me zoom out. Let me zoom out. I mean, when it comes to like this, like these psychological barriers, this is where a lot of times on some of these Matt Fury plays that I did really good. It's like getting in after where a lot of people don't want to get in, right? Getting in a lot, you know, at 5 million, you're like, oh, I don't want to do that. But if it went to 20 million and you know it's strong, the original is Toes and is trustworthy. Yeah, I know Toes. I seen that one. You posted it. And we'll cover that one too. I don't mind not covering that one as well. You know, we'll cover all of them. Why not? And it's like, we'll see which one is going to, you know, outlive the other one and stuff. And it's crazy because, you know, maybe the real one is getting, you know, working harder, but that's how it is. It's never too late to pump my chart. We are not going anywhere. I agree, you know, and that's the thing. Like those overnight plays, but people like them. You know, when I get DMs from people and they're like, hey, I got this, you know, all right, well, let's talk about it. Let's see what it is. And it's like a lot of that stuff doesn't last. And that's why you got to look at plays like Piston that can hold 20K market cap, you know, and hold it strong, unlike, you know, something like Derpy that, you know, lasts 24 hours. I want plays that can last long. I got stuff to do with XPX. Like I want to can I leave a bag in there for a week and it'd be okay? So while I'm working on XPX, streaming, getting, you know, meetings that I'm having, you know, back end work that I'm doing, can I leave a bag in there for a week and it'd be okay? That's what I want. So we got Toes right here. We got a serious foot fetish going on. And we're going to talk about the other one as well. You guys did it with a Z. So this one right here, yep, this was 2 months ago. This one's doing really good. This one's at 40-something K market cap. And yeah, that's the thing, you know, the trench warriors are coming with some real power and real oomph, and they'll push this thing. And then, you know, now this one's 1 month old and everybody's checking this one out when there was a Toes. So why didn't the other Toes work? What's so special about this Toes compared to the other Toes? And that's all that inside stuff that you're already late, right? You don't even know. It's tough. These markets are tough, man. These markets are tough. These trenches are relentless, honestly. So this Toes coin right here is looking really good. This was the first Toes coin. You guys could be telling all those Toes people that, hey, this is the real Toes, and try to overpower that and get people to come over here. And if you guys start breaking out, those Toes people will look for the next Toes. That's the original one, and probably get some attention on it. This chart looks pretty good as well. We'll bring up Piston next, and we'll go through some of the other tickers. I appreciate you guys sticking with me, joining me a little bit of an earlier stream, getting it knocked out, because then I'm going to do some serious physical therapy today. And yeah, woke up in the middle of the night with some pain, bro. Ooh, whoo. It's like, gotta work it out, man. You gotta work it out. Gotta work out the kinks. So toes right here, little toes play if you guys are looking for it. And then the one that, somebody else sent me a DM on, and you got toes coin right here looking pretty good. Holding pretty good at a $10 million market cap. I like these $10 million market cap. What's the next one? 20. If it can break 20, it's going to go higher. It's going to go a lot higher. So this is that range that we're looking at for these. And it's same for the original toes. If it breaks 100K market cap, it'll go a lot higher. And you guys got a nice solid floor, it looks like, on the toes. Let's go to Piston and talk about, a play that can actually hold even 20K market cap. Like the Derpy couldn't even hold. It's like this. That's why you need Piston has a community. That's why you got a community, you got presence, you're around. When something doesn't have presence and nobody knows it, people just dump on each other and they're on to the next. They're going to go lose the Solana that, they're going to get next and get wrecked on that one next and go chase the next thing wrecks. And, everybody's fiending. Everybody's fiending. You got to be careful. Like, here goes a solid play. If you like trading charts, maybe we add some Solana to this one. It's at 22K. Yeah, we called Derpy at 9 and pumped up to 35K, but this one can pump right back up to 63K. It's at a 22K market cap. That's pretty low. It might be a good idea to trade. If you were looking for trench plays, trade the ones that you see in the space that are conviction plays that, you can put 5 SOL right here and, it'll still be here a week later. And if you want to G on Piston, you can, and it's still going to be here no matter what. It's not going to just disappear because Piston wants to take it higher than 63K market cap. And that's why we highlight, how many KOLs, Piston, be honest, like highlight low cap gems, like don't make it so hard for you to get recognized. As like, if the communities pull up and the projects pull up, the devs pull up, I bring those projects up because I want, I think that any team and any community can really win if they're relentless and they keep pushing, right? And that's why I want to highlight these people. These people are awesome. A lot of these guys also hold XPX. So it's like, I want you to win no matter what, right? You're also a holder of XPX. You're doing your own thing. It's like, I want you guys to win, right? So we're going to keep talking about Piston here. And, maybe this is the next one that we rally up. If you guys were following Derpy, and yeah, it's awesome. And I know we're supposed to be kind of like happy about that in a way. It's kind of weird, because you're happy, but then you're irritated because a lot of times you see things posted. Oh, called it at 9K market cap, went up to 50. Called it at 9K market cap, went up to 100, and they're gone, right? But it's like, how about we call Piston at 22K market cap right now, and then it's at 200K market cap, and then it's at $2 million market cap. We can call plays like that, and I might actually do that and just make a post for Piston. Piston, definitely get a bag of XPX. XPX moons. You're gonna have more ammo for your Piston, bro. Don't miss out. Do not miss out, man. I'm definitely cooking over here. And yeah, we've been racking up. When you got this, I've been letting people cheat on us. The people who cheat, they don't understand. Yeah, we got firing power over here. And when you got this much in paid orders, we got some firing power, and we've been letting cheats just cheat. And soon I'll be doing, a couple, little of those things that make it go a little bit higher, more development, because development does cost money. It's definitely not cheap. And some things are, a lot of the stuff, it's cheaper for us because I'm willing to do so much of the work, right? But there's some things like, working with certain issuers and setting up certain APIs and webhooks that it's outside of, it's in their wheelhouse that we have to pay for certain things. So there's definitely, but as much as I can do where it's just off the sweat off my brow, I think XPX knows that I've done that, and I will continue to do that to take this thing all the way. And I think that Piston is one of those projects that also will as well. So, he said, who said I don't have one? Nice. I appreciate that, man. Definitely appreciate that, man. We had some people who bought it, and, they're looking really good. They're looking really good. I want you guys to win. You guys will see that, man. Yeah, you can show your tokens. I see somebody in Pump Fun. I don't know when that message came in. It's probably way too late. Yeah, show your tokens. Let me know what you got. If you're listening on Pump Fun, yeah, show me your gems. Just because you win doesn't mean XPX loses. This is a different type of project over here. We want you to win. We want you to off-ramp your winnings through XPX Pay. We get to move differently over here. See that? Hopefully you guys are having a little bit of fun with me, even though the markets are crap and you got the trenches being the trenches, right? Pissing right here, looking really good. Let's make a post for pissing. If you guys are listening in right now, if you guys rock with me, put a little Solana up in here. It's nothing, let this guy's working everywhere. Everywhere you see, let's go to their X account. I'm sure he's going to be in a space, or he's probably was in a space, or is going to a space, or has a space booked. Like these are hey, I'm invested into the person, man. And him pulling up to the live stream, rocking with us. You got 30% of the supply locked up, 1% of the supply burn, which is absolutely amazing. And it just looks good and shows that you want to take this thing further. And I know you are, brother. Right? I know you definitely are. And I host a space daily at 5 p.m. Okay, cool. So here I'm gonna share this link with you guys, and I'll end my stream too. I'm gonna try to catch this. So I want to get my little workout in. I got to do my physical therapy, man. Otherwise, my leg starts acting up. The minute I start, I don't know about you guys. I was asking one of my friends. I don't know if you guys wake up sometimes wake up out of your sleep like that, like super fast, because you're a dream, or like you move super fast, or like twitch to wake up. And man, I woke up like that, and that hurt my hips so bad. So I definitely need to relax the muscles, just float in the water. That's what's the pool is so nice. You get a little workout, but it's the only time that I feel weightless. It's the only time that I feel like weightless, and my leg doesn't feel like it weighs like a dump truck, because my leg is so heavy. This leg doesn't have all the power that the other leg has, and I got to help it around sometimes. But when you're in the water and that leg just feeling nice and light, I literally, like, you'll see me like where I just like, oh, I won't notice it till I'm in the water how much I'm actually putting up with it, till like it's actually floating. I'm like, oh my God, dude, you're so needy. This freaking leg is so freaking, but by the grace of God, I'm here. I'm very grateful. I'm very blessed to be alive, considering all things, and to be in cryptocurrency and doing something that I love, right? So if the leg is the only thing I got to deal with, but I still get to do what I love, then I gotta put up with it. Life ain't perfect. Everybody's not living a perfect life. We all got something, right? So we got right here 2 p.m. my time. So 5 p.m. Eastern. This is showing my time right here. So it's in so a couple hours, man. We got golden shower with pissing and friends, man. I'll definitely try to make it to that, get my little workout in. We're getting close to the end of the stream. We've been rocking some streams like hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours. And this is how we stay sharp in this space together, fam. This is how we stay strong in this space together. And I appreciate you guys' support more than you guys know. Honestly, more than you guys know. Pissing and whether it's to come up here and just talk about your project only, or whatever it might be, or support XPX, whatever it might be. Like, I really do appreciate it. And this channel is for you guys, and I want you guys to use it like it is your channel, right? And come up here, get your community to come up here. People watch this stuff later on, and we're gonna apply some pressure on pissing. You guys will see. We'll do something really nice where you guys will start seeing it. Get in before I get in, and start adding some more, right? So I sprinkled it at one point a while back. I can't remember when. It was a while back. And I just haven't looked at it. It's been a while. I almost want to say a couple months, to be honest. It's been a hot minute. Kind of like when I was more into spaces and I was bumping into you a lot more, and you had the flush going on and all that stuff. So I've been holding it for a while already, but it might be time to sprinkle it a little bit more, and drive this thing to 63K and create some FOMO over here on Piston as well. A great dev, great project, pretty funny. Yeah, hosting spaces daily. I mean, that's pretty amazing right there. You want to support that stuff. Let's go into some more plays that I got, and then we'll wrap it up. We got Manifest. We also got World that's doing really good, but Manifest is one of my favorite ones because we got to manifest this stuff. We also got Myro that I don't want to miss out on. It's super important. I don't know how I almost forgot, but Manifest looking really good. Don't fade this one. You could probably DCA into this. This could be one of those plays that 24 million sounds like a lot, but then it's at 240 million. It was like, damn, I could have just got in over there, right? It was still good. Maybe waiting to 15 million. I'm not fudding manifesting, but just because the market is here. But again, they got a really strong community as well. They're standing up strong. They're manifesting their next leg up. And I think this one's an easy one, because if you just think of a big group of people that want to manifest success, like, something's going to happen. There's no way that you get everybody together like that. And it doesn't happen. So one to keep an eye on for sure. It'd be nice if more of the liquidity was locked up. So right here we got, 50% total locked, 50% burned. So just keep that in mind, right? Even that, it's amazing. You got to keep that in mind. The markets are reckless right now, but this one's getting listed on things back to back. It's just looking really, really good. And I want manifesting to win. For the sake of manifesting, I want it to win. All right, let's go to the good boy Myro, man. We've been covering the good boy Myro. We're going to go over one of my X account posts as well. I've DCA'd into Myro as well. I think this project's pretty undervalued. It went to 400 million at some point. Is it going to go to 400 million tomorrow? No. Is there going to be some growing pains along the way? Yes. Is there going to be people that are mad about the migration? Yes. It seems like everybody's mad in crypto, right? Everybody's, irritated in crypto. Nobody's happy about anything in crypto. I get it. But whether this thing's undervalued or not, or has the potential to tap into the lore of the founder's dog and going a lot higher, I don't think there's any dispute about that. This thing, there's going to be a point where I think we'll see this 10 million, 20 million. They'll have to deal with a lot of the JEETs that happen on Solana. They've always been on Solana, but the USDC side. But, now that it's not going to be as stable, and they got to deal with the emotions of the JEETs when Solana dips, it dips, and now, all that stuff. But I think if Solana's dirt cheap, if that this is undervalued, you could put a few SOL in this. That SOL is probably going to 3x when the market happens. And most likely this Myro thing is going to be a lot higher. I don't want to see it at somehow, oh my God, Myro's back at 100 million. It's like, I could have put one SOL in there. Just one. Screw it. Just $60 right now. SOL is $60. Go buy one SOL for $60. It's cheaper than a pair of shoes, and put it in Myro, and maybe, 100x from here on out. So keep an eye on Myro. When Solana pumps up, this time Myro will pump up. Last time Myro was paired to USDC. So it made it really hard not hard. It just didn't, right? Because Solana started to pump and it didn't get to catch that wave. And even with that, it still went to 400 million. We got some stuff fresh off the press right here. One of the biggest exchanges that we all like and that we really enjoy. We got MEXC completes its Myro migration 4 hours ago, which that looks absolutely amazing. I got a lot of people who follow me that follow Myro and the good boy because I was part of that era. But guess what? I'm going to be part of the new era of Myro as well. Just like I was part of the era with FEG token at 4 billion. You don't see me fading FEG token because it's at $3 million right now. Like this was at 400 million. It's at 2 million. Like, no, not fading it. I see an opportunity that this thing can go right back up. Maybe not all the way back up to where it was at. I don't know. But whether or not that it has the lore and the people around it where it can actually go a lot higher, I know it can, right? Just like FEG token sitting at 3 million, that's super discount price. That's a crazy discount price. And people that could very easily, be at 30 million for FEG token because it was $1 billion token at one point, right? And it's like, keep an eye on these plays. And I think Myro is one of them as well. Nice to see all the migrations going through. You guys see that I'm tapped in. If you guys see Myro follows me, I'm super tapped in. And I want you guys to also be tapped in. Even if it's one SOL, just throw $60 on it. Forget about it to the next freaking bull run. Maybe if it's at $100 million market cap, $200 million market cap, you're like, Rico, you're not going to believe what that one SOL turned into, right? Just two SOL. $100 worth of Solana, throw it in there and see what happens, because I've seen what this dog can do before, and it wouldn't take much to get that whole entourage all over again. This thing starts breaking $10 million market cap again, 20 million. Everybody's going to say Myro's going back to all-time high. You're going to want to be in well before that. Right now, when everybody's scared, when the markets are fearful, this is the time that I've been accumulating and kind of, DCAing into my XPX and the things that I really like, because the markets are fearful right now. And I gotta navigate that fear by printing on some shorts and buying my conviction plays. And I think that this is probably one of my next conviction plays right here. You got your XPX, you got obviously I'm part of Smart DeFi. I want nothing but the best for the gorillas. I want the gorillas to win. And I know they have what it takes to actually win. That's a conviction play. I'm on that platform. But Myro's right up there with one of the Solana plays as it goes, as like the big names for what happened on Solana. I don't think nobody can take that away. So like I said, they don't follow many people. I'm tapped in with them, 641 people. I'm tapped in with them really close. So you guys are going to be seeing a lot more of Myro on the channel. Make sure that you guys stay tapped in with me. And You know, I'm telling you guys early when everybody's scared before the bigger KOLs and YouTubers and everybody that comes in. It's like you guys are getting it now. And if you guys go look at the last bull run, I was one of the first people finding you guys those plays before, you know, they started getting the super big KOLs. It's like sometimes the low accounts, like, you know, my account's not that big. You know, we're in the trenches with you guys finding these plays. And I found Myro before it went all the way up there. And then everybody was following Jake Gagan and everybody was following all the big names. And everybody was like, you know, Jake Gagan and Rodney. And oh my God, it's like, if you would have been tapped in with the small channel, you would have got in way before all of these guys got to talking, and you would have not been the top. You would have been in at the bottom. And I'm telling you guys right now that something like this is going to happen. How many other KOLs you see posting on Myro right now? None. Right? This is all Myro and one little guy named Rico up on here. Remember that, okay? And watch how things will change. So just sprinkle this thing. It's going to fluctuate because it has all the migrations happening for all these different exchanges, but don't miss out on this thing, all right, man? Like, don't miss out. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. I really do appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. So we covered Myro, we'll cover WorldCoin, and then we'll wrap this up, man. And I'm going to go jump in that pool, do the workout, and then just kind of float around for a little bit. Just be like, oh, I forgot that this thing can like weigh nothing. Here we go. We got WorldCoin right here. There's been one that we've been keeping an eye on. A lot of times, like I said, people don't want to get into these plays when they're at these high market caps. You want the 40K play. And I'll keep bringing them. If you guys want some of the 40K plays, I'm bringing you guys pissing right now at 20K market cap. So I'm going to keep bringing you guys the low cap plays, and some of which that I'm even going to load up on. But some of these plays right here, they already got kind of established. And, you know, it's already flirting with going to that $5 million market cap. And we know when projects do that, they go to 10 and they peak over that. So this is an area maybe waiting for it to come down a little bit that you could say, hey, I'm going to throw a couple soul at this world thing because, you know, it broke out the 1 million. It's getting close to the $5 million market cap. We know that it could be a dog, cat, whatever it is. And when it breaks this right here, this 5 million, it goes to 10 million. And there's some not guarantee. I don't want to say that, right? Not a financial advisor, but it's a lot. The odds are a lot higher that once it breaks these thresholds that they pump up kind of automatically. And we've seen that happen time and time again. So this is one that we're keeping an eye on for sure. We'll see how far it can go. Everybody's part of the world. So that's how you got to look at these funny narratives. Part of the world. So we're all part of the world. Everybody's going to buy it. There you go. That's as simple as it gets. Trending number 4 on Deck Screener right now. Community established. Simple as something called world. Let's go to the X account. No website. Really, no website's really needed. Not like people really care about that whatsoever. So we got WorldCoin right here with a solid community on the X. And you got people posting it. All kinds of people. So looking pretty good. This is World right here. Don't miss out on it. All right, fam. I do appreciate you guys pulling up. You guys have been absolutely rock solid, especially the XPX community. Seeing you guys pull up so strong. And when the market's trying to scare everybody, we're like, no, no. We got development. Well, we're building. We got things going for us. We're going to take this thing all the way. I really do appreciate that. It really highlights conviction plays. So find your conviction plays. Short the market when you can. Let's see how this short is going before I close out the stream. Let's see where it's at. We've just been holding that short. So it's back at 199%. So it's almost 200% on that short. So shorts and convictions. And if you get lucky on a trench, maybe it'll hit. Maybe you only hit from 9K to 40K, and that's all the type of trades that you like to do. Maybe you want it to only be a 1 day play. Maybe you want it to be a 1 week play, a 1 month play. But if you want a long-term play where you can park your bag and you know it's a serious project, I definitely would take a look at XPX. And if you don't want to get a bag, start using our utilities. Try it out. Let me know what you think. And maybe there's something I can do better and where you like the experience even that much better, right? So thank you guys so much. I do appreciate you guys. The markets are going to continue to test us. Let's just stare at it. You know, like the words of Marcus Aurelius, you know, when death smiles at a man, all a man can do is smile back. You know, it's like, you know, I had that experience with what happened with me. It's like these markets are staring at you. You know, they're red and they're scary. It's like, man, you know what? I'm just going to smile right back at you, stare right back at you, and it's nothing. I'm going to keep doing my thing no matter what. So no matter what the markets are doing, we're here to stay in this cryptocurrency market. Appreciate Piston, the whole XPX community pulling up. You know, everybody's just been rocking. Profit Bear, you're a real one, brother. Really do appreciate you. And yeah, let's send our conviction play to the moon. Let's take this thing all the way. We really truly do have something here, and let's navigate this and survive this market that we're currently in, because even SpaceX is not doing too good, right? SpaceX ain't doing too hot. You know, Bitcoin's not doing too hot. So it's our conviction plays and being able to short the market, you know, placing your shorts and riding the wave down, and then adding to your conviction play. Because when the markets do turn back around, you're not going to want to chase trying to catch up to XPX when it's at 5 million, 10 million, $50 million market cap. You're going to want to be positioned right now. You're going to want to see, you know, a 5, 10K bag, you know, turn into 100K, turn into 250K. And that's what we're going to be able to do, man. We're going to keep pushing this thing and keep going all the way. So let the markets do what the market's going to do. We're here to stay. And I know we got an amazing community. Those who listen here on YouTube, listen on X, listen on Pump Fun, you guys are epic. If there's anything that you guys want me to mention on the live streams, any projects you guys want me to look at, some project that you're bullish on that hasn't gotten the exposure or the recognition they deserve, definitely send me a DM so I can bring them up on stage, or just mention the project and have them up on the show. Thank you guys so much for pulling up. You guys are absolutely amazing. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys can't do that, continue to come back and experience the abundance of money with me. Until next time, you guys know what it is. Later, fam.
So your bag's backed up against the wall, and the bandwagon's falling right off, and you're hearing all the talk about maybe you should think about what you're going